Welcome to Harmony Within. And if you're watching this or listening on YouTube, welcome to Aligned Woman. I am your host, Lisa. And each week we explore the Aligned Woman method, focusing on the intersection between strength, movement, and intentional living. We're moving past perfection to find the rhythm that works for your unique life. Blending science-backed movement with a mindful, grounded approach to your body, mind, and soul. So let's get into today's episode. And welcome back. Today is a special episode because we have finally reached the summit of the Aligned Woman method. In previous episodes, we discussed what the Aligned Woman method is, moving with your body, not against it, nervous system regulation, and the sacred art of recovery. Today, we are tying everything together as we discuss the last pillar, mindset, moving past perfection. For most of my life, and perhaps yours as well, I believed a very specific definition of discipline. One that tells us discipline means ignoring our bodies, chasing perfection, and beating ourselves up when we don't hit our goals. You know, that good old all or nothing mentality. Well, mindset isn't white knuckling your way through life. It's about shifting from punishment to partnership with yourself. Rewriting the stories we tell ourselves and owning the idea that we are wonderfully made. It is time to let go of society's idea of the perfect body and embrace the idea that becoming healthy isn't about pushing or forcing your body to be something that cannot realistically be maintained. Becoming healthy is stepping into the woman you are meant to be, the version of you that is realistically, sustainably the best. I want you to think about the soundtrack playing in your head right now when you miss a workout or you eat something that doesn't make you feel great. Does it sound like a supportive coach, or does it sound more like a critic? My bet is that you are where I was, listening to that inner critic, the voice in our heads that tear us down. My inner critic is still there. It's just not as loud. See, the inner critic, that voice in your head that says things like, you're not good enough. You'll never succeed. You're not smart enough. You can't do XYZ. You fill in the blank. That mental friction and self-judgment actually triggers the exact stress response and the cortisol spike that we talked about in the nervous system episode. Your thoughts have a biological footprint. Think about that for a second. When you look in the mirror and you're beating yourself up, or when you tell yourself that you've ruined everything because of one meal or one skipped workout, your physical body doesn't know the difference between that thought and a real physical emergency. So your brain triggers a flood of stress hormones. It tightens your muscles, it elevates your heart rate, and it puts you right back into survival mode. You are literally exhausting your physical body simply by how you are speaking to your own mind. And that is why we cannot separate mindset from biology. When we learn to soften our internal dialogue, We aren't just being nice to ourselves. We are lowering our cortisol. We are telling our nervous system that we are safe. So you can have the best workout plan in the whole world and the cleanest nutrition. But if your mind is constantly at war with your body, none of it will ever stick. That is why diets and exercise fail. It isn't the diet plan or the workout that's actually failing. It's your mindset about your body and yourself that is failing you. Things like, I'm big boned, so I'll never look the way I want. I'm not pretty enough, so why try? I'm not flexible, so I can't do yoga. Our beliefs, our stories shape who we are. Beliefs can change, and stories, they can be rewritten. Movement, nutrition, nervous system regulation, recovery, and mindset all work together to create this beautiful circle. This circle creates a sustainable way to live your fullest, happiest, healthiest, best life. How? Well, it isn't easy and it takes time, but it can be done. The first step is awareness. You can't change a story if you're not paying attention. So notice when your inner critic shows up. Catch what your brain says. Just notice. Just noticing that thought without judgment, without judging yourself, that can stop the spiral. And that is where the power begins. The second step is interruption. So once you hear the critic, you have to actively interrupt it. So ask yourself, is this true? Is this helpful? Would I talk to my best friend like this? If the answer is no, you refuse to let that thought run the show. Step 3 is reframe. This is where you rewrite the script in real time. So instead of, I missed a workout, I'm failing, I'm falling apart, you reframe it to, my body needed rest today, and missing one day does not erase my progress. You swap the punishment for partnership. Step 4 is consistency. Consistency over perfection. So here's the secret. You're not going to get this right every time. You're just not. Your brain has spent decades practicing that old critical narrative. So give yourself some grace. Mindset work isn't about never having a negative thought. It's about how quickly we can catch it, soften it, and bring yourself back into alignment. I went from a girl who couldn't order pizza over the phone and was borderline obese to leading fitness classes, talking on podcasts, and being the healthiest I have been at 54 while doing things that I couldn't do at 30. Wait, did she just say she couldn't order pizza over the phone? Yes, I did. I did say that. I spent years trapped in the mindset of complete self-doubt. I had zero self-confidence, zero self-worth. I remember what it was like to walk down the sidewalk my eyes down to the pavement, actively thinking that if I looked down, no one would notice me. My heart would race because I was so convinced that talking to anyone, even ordering pizza over the phone, it terrified me. And I was so convinced that I would say something dumb or order the wrong thing. I was a prisoner of my own internal narrative. When I finally decided to change, the very first thing I had to change wasn't my workout routine or my diet. It was my mindset. I had to learn to rewrite the stories I had told myself, to stop listening to the inner critic and start owning the idea that I am wonderfully made for a purpose. It isn't about pushing or forcing your body into a mold that cannot be realistically maintained. It's about stepping into the woman you are meant to be, the version of you that is realistically, sustainably the best. So yeah, I went from a girl who couldn't order pizza over the phone and was borderline obese to leading fitness classes, talking on podcasts, and being the healthiest I've been at 54, doing things I couldn't do at 30. The first thing I did was change my mindset, and everything else fell into place. The Aligned Woman Method is the framework for lasting, lifelong stability. It's how I left survival mode behind for good. And it all started with a shift in how I talk to myself and the incorrect beliefs I had about who I was. And that is what I want for you. As we close out this 5-part series, I want you to hear this loud and clear. You are not broken. You do not need to be fixed. And you never have to chase perfection again. You now have the 5 pillars, but you don't have to build this house alone. If you are ready to shift your mindset, change your stories, and finally step into the woman you are meant to be, let's talk. There's a link in the show notes to schedule your free clarity call with me. Let's figure out your right next step together. Thank you for being on this journey with me. Until next time, breathe, move with intention, and take care of yourself.